Yeah, folks, just getting set up. Right then, let's see if we can't do something about Recco's missions or cargo trading today. Dustin, I don't have anyone on my contacts list at the minute, not since I recopied my character yesterday. At the minute, I just want to see if I can get Recco's missions done. That's going to be my focus today. It's not Saturday, is it? It shows you how alert I am. I suppose I should change that, really. I've had a long weekend off this weekend, so I've got Friday and Monday off work, so my brain is a bit addled, as you can tell. No appointment just yet, although my crime rating's gone. Let's go and do the PI mission quickly so we get a bit of mission rating. As well as fix the Mustang's buggy landing gear. for the folks who are watching. If you haven't already, I recommend you go and check your settings page on your RSI accounts, because PTU has opened wave 1 to 4 yesterday, so I imagine a lot more people got emails to get onto the PTU last night.
Hey Darnell, it's Racine over at Corporate Ops. Give me a shout back when you clock in. Just wanted to follow up a bit on the distro issue. Talk to you in a bit. Bye. Darnell, Racine again. Still need to sync up about the power distribution problem. Where are you, man? Getting tired of waiting, Darnell. Call me.
Hey babe, I just got the package you sent. Thanks a million for the Moby mod. It is incredible. Sorry for the noise. The crew surprised me with a shindig.
Damn right we did. Hey, Anya!
Holy shit, is that a bottle of Esquire?
Damn right.
How did you afford this?
Let's talk.
We're drinking.
Hey, Darnell! Hey! Darnell! Get in on this!
No thanks.
Oh, come on!
Jeez, Darnell, look, just one. Maybe a sip. There we go.
Bye, Anya! Let's go. Darnell, one more.
Hey, look, I'm gonna get back to it, but let me know how your dissertation's going. Anyway, I love you and I miss you. Thank you again for the present. Bye, babe.
You mean like the flashy lighty things, Joe? It just seems to be the text from doing certain bits in missions at the minute, and like when the Moby Glass pops up with alerts in front of you. I don't know why it's doing it. It says there it's this journal entry added. You'll see that disappear, and then it'll like whip round. You see that? It seems to be a bit of a visual bug with the HUD on the canopy at the minute.
Hey, Race, it's Darnell.
Where the hell have you been? Your shift started 3 hours ago.
I know. I'm sorry. I did a breakdown of the current power flow for the station, and it's looking like I'll need to run a stress test on the whole system to see where the runoff is.
Okay. Hey, just be careful.
Will do. I'll keep a close eye on it.
Sounds good. You sure you're okay? You sound terrible.
Yeah. It was Scott's birthday last night, so we were all up a little later than we should have been.
Alright. Let me know when you're finished running the test.
Will do.
Did I miss one? Oh no, it's this one. There we go.
Hey, wanted to let you know that I got the ops guy's passcode last night. Took a whole damn bottle of Esquire to do it. Talk about being able to hold your liquor. I set the routine to bypass the monitoring protocols at 1400. The crates should go through, no problem. Just be ready at the drop, alright? By the way, had to change over the security stuff. Codes attached.
I wanted to let you know that I got the information you sent, and if what you found is true, I owe you a very big thank you, and Kovalex owes me and my husband an apology. Thank you again. I'm uploading your payment to your account now.
There we go. Okay, we don't have Rekko's mission at the minute, but we'll make our way over there. No, Joe, I don't have a car to all, sadly. I'll be able to fly one in a week or so. We can get the free fly event. Quite happily show it off then, because I do like the car to all. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a useless ship at the minute. It's built a bit like paper and it doesn't have very good weapons on it, so it's a bit of a disappointment. Hello Dazza. There's a few more people watching now, so I'll repeat what I said earlier on if you haven't checked already. If you have a game package and you wanted to play on the PTU, but obviously you couldn't because it was sub and concierge at the minute, CIG opened up the PTU to waves 1 to 4, I think it was last night. So it may be worth checking your settings in your account to see if you can copy your character over to the PTU. On the other hand, if you aren't on the PTU or you can't get on here, then
on
I'll
behalf
let
of the
Eslin talk.
People's Alliance, welcome
Noisy bugger.
to Levski. Name's Eslin. I run the hangars here, which is great for you because you're probably looking to land.
Anyway, if you read the letter from the chairman, which was Chris Roberts' email that went out the other day, he was just basically saying, wow, we've hit 200 million, because Star Citizen has hit 200 million in funding, which is insane. He also said, in his own words, that 3.3.5 will be going to live within a few days, so not much longer, people. Hey, there we go. He did Goku, however, that was when lots of Star Citizen seemed very much a pipe dream, you know? I'm a lot more inclined to believe things he says now rather than the stuff that he said a few years ago. Sorry about that little moment there, I had to deal with some dogs who were going nuts. Lorville does have good music. It only seems to have like one track at the minute, but it is a very cool piece. It's very Blade Runner evoking. I couldn't decide on, or rather I wouldn't be able to advise you on what hot ass to purchase Daza, because I'm a mouse and keyboard peasant. I don't use a joystick. How do you mean? Oh my god, your name, Floblolly. Price of ships be available? Do you mean next Friday when they do the free fly event? Because if you do, there is the sale going on. So it's not a sale like discount sale. It's just called a sale because the ships that aren't normally available to buy will be on sale. So over the process of a week, 23rd until the 4th of December, you'll be able to purchase ships. We don't know if it's every single ship, but it will certainly be most of them throughout that event, and throughout the event as well, it will be a free fly event on the live version of the client. Oh my word, you're all T-posing. So every single ship that is flyable in-game will be available for everybody to fly during that event. You're not near your console again, lady. Am I going to have to move around again?
I've seen your face around these parts before. We get our fair bit of traffic, but I make a point of knowing who's who. What brings you around?
I won't work, but you keep breaking.
Ah, then you'll be wanting to see me. Name's Recco. I see to the boring fiddly bits for most of the miners work in the area. Dig site claims, equipment orders, or transfers and the like. For most jobs, the terminal will set you up. But if you're after something with a bit of hair on it, best to talk to me direct. If you'd like, I can see to setting you up with something now. Nothing too big, but it'll let us see how we feel about working together. Sound all right to you?
Oh my god. Definitely still.
Great. I'll take a scan through now.
Oh, I love this game when it breaks, but when it breaks spectacularly. spectacularly, just like that.
Fly safe.
Oh dear. HDMS Bazdeck, where is that?
What are you doing here? Figured you'd be out finishing up the contract by now.
Bring a sample of ore from HDMS Bazdeck back to Levski. Where the sodding hell is the Bazdeck? Not Bezdek, that sounds like one of the I think she's wanting me to go to one of the new moons. And I've never had that before.
I just wanted to let you know that the information you found worked. Kovalex exonerated my husband, and the insurance company gave me the full claim. On top of all that, the advocacy was able to arrest the people that Melisowski had been working with. Turns out there was a reward for information leading to the smuggling ring's arrest, and I want you to have it. I cannot express how much I appreciate the hard work you did on my behalf. Made all the difference. Best of luck to you, and thanks for everything.
More free money. Yes, they are all over Hurstonway, so we're going to have to saddle up and settle in for a long travel to do a box mission. If the delivery mechanism doesn't work, I'll be annoyed. I can't claim my Titan again. Yeah, there's definitely something janky with the ship database at the minute. See, it's done the same with my Cutlass. Let's see if we can pull this one out.
Your ship has been delivered to the following landing pad.
Never mind, we've got one. The guy walking around with a tablet 6 inches from his face, just like last night. He's obviously started a trend. It's HDMS, it's Hurston Dynamics something or other. Yeah, I'm back from my late night. Although it is like, you know, it's just gone midday now, so I had a nice lay-in, which is good. I said I'm working a long weekend. I originally called the stream Saturday when it's actually Sunday, which shows you how awake I actually am. They changed the loadout on the Cutlass as well, so giving it ballistics now instead of just lasers. Hello Francis. Stable version. PTU's been pretty stable. I had a couple of crashes last night. Just have to see how things go at the minute because I haven't been in very long. We are still in PTU, so not on live at the minute. See if I can find the information on that anniversary sale whilst we do the long drive to Hurston. Yeah, so there we go. That link takes you to the details on the free fly event and the anniversary sale that's next week. I think they've fixed the box foot syndrome, Francis. They fixed that a few builds ago. How long for your flight now to Hurston? In this ship, probably about 8 to 10 minutes. I don't know if they fixed that bug with some of the hangers and such where it kills you. Well, it breaks your legs, doesn't it, which kills you, but yeah. I can't say I've experienced that one. I've not yanked out something like a hammerhead or some such that's big enough to use those pads. Don't know how your 16 gig RAM. Well, we'll turn the console on and have a look. I mean, it does pretty much max it out. At the minute it looks like it's using page file as well, so I have to remember I'm on my tower at the minute, which is running DDR3, not DDR4, so... Hello, Stuart. My best and worst of the current build. Best is just probably going around the new moons and such, and Hurston in itself, and exploring and seeing the cool topography. It's going to be interesting finding the crashed, like the derelicts and things that are lying around, and see if there's cool things to find in there, or you know, boxes and stuff that you can turn in for money, because we don't know if that's the thing, do we? Yeah, and just the fact that with Hurston added, we have more than doubled the play space of the alpha now, so it's a lot more consistent, and you know, there's travel time, so you have to decide what you want to do because it takes time, as opposed to just, oh, I'm going to go to Daymar, because it takes like 3 seconds to quantum jump to Daymar. Worst of the build, the fact that whenever I stream for you lot, the game is determined not to let me turn in Reko's box missions, and it won't let me sell cargo. Like, I can't see the ship on the sell list, and it's really fucking annoying. I am going to get these bloody things done. That's what I want to do today. For what it's worth though, the PTU has been, apart from the 30k errors that we had in the last couple of builds, so when the servers were crashing, which I think was caused by NPC ships stacking up on the pads at Lawville, it's been pretty stable. You know, we've had a couple of crashes, but I'm expecting those, but not like 30k server crashes every 10 minutes like it was earlier on. Can just about see Hurston in the distance there, so we're almost there. Even though Lawville is a bit of an FPS monster, I do like Lawville. Lawville's very cool. It's a great demonstration of, you know, cities and things that we're going to have in game. Even though you can't visit most of it, it's just the scape of it when you're flying away or flying in. That's really cool. Alright, there's the polluted rock. We are going to Ariel, if I read that correctly, which means we are going to the very violently hot moon when my quantum drive cools down, at least. How do I reckon inter-system will work? No idea, because obviously we don't have anything like that yet. Quantum drive still doesn't want to work. Come on. Are already missions near Hurston? I would say no. However, doing one of Reko's missions, she wants me to pick a box up from one of the Hurston moons, so I would argue at the minute there is some kind of little content there. Although they haven't turned the Hurston specific missions on yet. Where am I needing to go? Over there. I'm going to go past the exploded space station. Yeah, so this is Ariel. This is very much a twin to Io in our own solar system, so it's very acidic, very volcanic. There's pools of acid everywhere. When you get within the atmosphere, there's a heat haze like Daymar, so obviously the surface of the planet is ridiculously hot. Retro, there isn't actually that many more bugs at the minute. Not the major ones anyway. There's the little fiddly things but that are being worked on in the background, but we don't get told about those in the patch notes. All they need to do is switch on the missions, and I think the major one that's stopping things at the minute is that they just want to tweak Lorville a little bit so it gives a few more frames for people with less dependable systems, and the shop kiosks still cause people's clients to lock up. That's the only major one at the minute. No, Joe, I didn't stop at a truck stop, went straight to Hurston, and now we are at Ariel. If you see down on the... Oh, hello subscriber. If you see down on the ground there, those little pools, there's like pools of acid everywhere on this moon. Moby-glass bug. Moby-glass still has its moments, yeah, unfortunately. So here's the heat haze. Obviously makes it quite hard to see when you're flying in a ship. I have the distinct impression that if, you know, atmospheric effects were taking toll against your health and against your space and things, you would not want to be doing a spacewalk out in this atmosphere for very long. There we go. Yes, the dynamic mission system is going to make all the difference, I think. Yeah, Tila was mentioning about the mission system. We had that bug last night when we were trying to do Rekko's missions. We couldn't turn the box in at Levski, so hopefully we'll be able to do that this time. Yes, this is going to be Wallpaper Simulator 2019 very much so, I think. Especially when we start getting places like ArcCorp implemented. This is Aerial, Chieflin. We're just leaving because we picked up a box for Rekko. She told us to go to one of the Hurston moons, which I have never seen before. Normally she just sends us to Daymar. And we'll see if we can turn the box back in at Levski when we get over there. There's Hurston just popping over the horizon there. We're not quite out of the atmosphere yet. Missions aren't in at Hurston though, they haven't turned the Hurston missions on yet. This just seems to be a bit of a strange sort of side tangent in that Rekko has asked me to go and pick up a box from one of the Hurston moons, which I have not seen before. .30 FPS on Delamar is kind of normal retro because of Levski at the minute. Any ideal moons for mining? I don't think there's an ideal moon, it's just a case of finding decent spots all over the place. There was a chap who was in the chat last night, T-Love, who completed Reko's first mission and hung around a bit, and he actually got a prompt to go and see her again. So that's what we're trying to do today. We just want to see if we can get through Reko's mission chain. It's worth noting that the Cutlass has jumped all the way to Hurston and all the way back again, or it will have done when we get there, on one tank of fuel, so Cutlass certainly isn't all that thirsty when it comes to fuel. It's a bit more frugal than I thought it was. You don't really have a relationship with the NPCs, but you do have a reputation system as such that you can't see. And what I mean by that is, it's partially to do with your crime stat, and it's partially to do with what missions you've already done. Like, sometimes Reko's mission won't appear until you've already done some other missions, which like approves your rating, which is why I just do the PI mission, because it's quick. And for instance, Miles Eckhart and the other chap, is it Ruko in Grimhex? They have certain criteria that you have to fulfill as well. Miles Eckhart, you have to complete several of the pirate, like the pirate killer missions around the asteroid belt in Yela before he'll talk to you. It's Russo, isn't it? That's it, yeah. I don't know what his criteria is, the hologram chap in Grimhex, because I think his is just turning off the comma rays and things, isn't it? Yes, quantum fuel will actually be used a lot. Oh, my game crashed. No. That's a pain in the bum. We'll have to see if we can resume. Ah, it didn't work. It was going to be hopeful. It was just a shame that Reco sent us so far away. How long did it take for it to crash? About an hour, so we've been doing that for an hour. Oh! Am I waking up in Olisar? What's it doing? I can hear a freelancer. Oh, I am in Olisar. I'm just randomly walking around in Olisar. Okay. At least we got her mission again straight away. Let's see if the shit list is still bugged. Yeah, see? I can't claim my Titan. How about my Raven? Can't claim my Raven. Yeah, there's definitely something going on with the ship claims at the minute. Can't claim the Mustang. I bet I won't be able to claim Cutlass Black now either. Yeah, very broken. Well, that's a pain in the arse. However, I think if we go to another terminal, they'll probably show up as another ship. Yeah, see? Hello? Put the ship on a pad, maybe? Wow, ship database is really knackered at the minute. And you see, the ones that I had on my list, so Avenger Renegade 2 is gone. And I can't claim it. God damn it, that's so annoying. What else can I throw crates into? I'm trying Aurora. I haven't found an Aurora in a long time.
Your ship has been delivered to the following landing pad.
I haven't flown an Aurora in a very long time. It's just something to do with the PTU ship database, Francis. It's not something that will affect live. We had that when this patch first came out, like most people had to recopy their characters. I did as well. It seems like that's the way to fix it at the minute. I'm just trying to stave off doing it because it means I'll wake up in Lawville again and I'll have to make my way back to Olisar, which kind of wastes time for you guys watching the stream. Oh, I haven't flown an Aurora in so long. don't think I've flown an LX before as well, which is what this is. So the quote-unquote luxury version of the Aurora, although I don't know how luxury you can get with an Aurora. Steve, this patch is running better than E. Yes, there are no server crashes, and the only problem at the minute just seems to be a persistent bug with the ship database. So your ship list bugs out, it's like it's not letting you claim ships. So you have to recopy your character. Even the luxury Aurora still suffers from the quantum travel bug. Yeah, you and everyone else always get really annoyed at just managing to get away from Hurston and then the server's crashing with a 30k error. It was quite funny to watch, I have to say. It's only got one set of guns. Okay, now it does have missiles, so that's something. We'll have Eslin pop up on that screen in a minute when we get closer. Gonna buy anything in anniversary sale? I genuinely don't know. Like I keep explaining, tempted to upgrade my Caterpillar to a 600i, but I love my Caterpillar and the 600i isn't exactly doing a lot for me at the minute. There isn't anything I really want. I mean, the only thing that's slightly tempted me is to rebuy back my Starfarer Gemini, or maybe a Reclaimer for giggles, but like we don't have the mechanics in for either of those ships yet. There's Eslin.
Hey there! On behalf of the People's Alliance, welcome to Levski. Name's Eslin. I run the hangars here, which is great for you, because you're probably looking to land.
Good thing about the Aurora, it's teeny, so you can stick it in teeny tiny spaces. Yes, I did see the shot of the touring 600i. Thing is with the 600i is it's gorgeous, but it needs a rework now that I have a Constellation Phoenix. Like the interior of the 600i just doesn't hold a candle to the 600i. It doesn't hold a candle to the Constellation Phoenix, sorry. They need to redo the interior a bit and make more use of the space and change the bar, because the 600i's bar looks awful in comparison to the one in the Phoenix. Oh, fucking dogs! I'm going to execute my animals in a minute. Would you kill the ATC controller? No, he's up. He's down next to customs. I'll show you in a minute. You can hear him when you stand next to the admin guy in Levski here. Yes, there's not enough segregation. The crew quarters in the 600i are just awful. Like, that was so rushed. It looks pretty, but there's not enough substance there. Yeah, the Eslin is up there. You can't get to him, but he's in that bit. So if you're standing here and there's ships and stuff coming in, you can hear him talking from up there. Let's see if Reko is stood in her proper place this time. There aren't T-posing NPCs around, so hopefully she's fixed. Nor will she do an Exorcist style neck snap when we talk to her as well. I mean, she still looks like she stood in the wrong place. Yeah, she is.
Don't think I've seen your face around these parts before. We get our fair bit of traffic, but I make a point of knowing who's who. What brings you around? Ah, then you'll be wanting to see me. Name's Reko. I see to the boring, fiddly bits for most of the miners work in the area. Dig site claims, equipment orders, or transfers and the like. For most jobs, the terminal will set you up. But if you're after something with a bit of hair on it, best to talk to me direct. If you'd like, I can see to setting you up with something now. Nothing too big, but it'll let us see how we feel about working together. Sound alright to you?
Does. I'm drinking though, or I'm trying to drink, so please don't turn around and snap your neck, because you make me spit it all out of my keyboard.
Now. I need someone to take care of this shipment for me. Uploading the contract to you now.
We have
Keep
to go
your
to
wits
Hurston
about you.
again,
You're here.
blimey. We're settling for the long drive again. Steve, you can't upgrade the, or you can't rather CCU anything to the Phoenix because the Phoenix is a limited run ship. So they may do CCUs for it, but they will be a limited number. And when they did the 3.3 ship sale, they released 1,500 Phoenixes, but none of them were CCUs. You had to buy them outright. So I had to do the same. I had a ship pack that had my 600i. I had a 135C and had something else in it that I can't remember. It might have just been one of the ground vehicles, but I had to melt them all to be able to buy the Phoenix. See if the Aurora could make it to Hurston in one run. I'd be surprised if it can. Some dude in the Cutlass Black landing over there. Yeah, I know the Mustang can. The Mustang Beta is a Pathfinder ship, though, remember, it's going to have a slightly bigger quantum tank. Where does she want me to go this time? We're going to Magda this time, not Aerial. Okay. Those ones actually working now, Retro? Whenever I used to try them, they reached the rendezvous point for the ship, and the ship captain goes, "Oh, hello, it's you must be our protection." And then they just sit there. They never do anything. Oh, I just crashed. Christ's sake. I'm not having another look at the minute. Actually, before I start my client again, I'm going to just clear my user folder just to make sure it's not anything in there. And I'm actually going to recopy my account as well so I get my ships back. So we're going to start in Lawville, unfortunately. But I want my ship list back. Yeah, it could be my user folder that's doing it. Might not be, but no harm in trying, eh? For what it's worth, apart from those few crashes, everything's been pretty smooth. It's just a little bit unfortunate with that. Well, the PTU copy is working instantly, so that's a good thing. So what is it I'm doing now? I am recopying my account to the PTU to basically refresh my ships. It will reset my character, unfortunately, which means we'll be in Lawville. And I'll have to go and buy armour again if I want armour. Wyhurst, yes, I am asking for another email, JD. Wyhurst first, I'm not Crusader. Crusader is Gas Giant, and they haven't implemented the gas cloud tech yet that they are using for not just Crusader, but all of the planets for cloud layers and things like that. They want to get that finished first before they flesh out Crusaders. Well, it's going to be like a Cloud City, like Bespin type affair, isn't it? Like Star Wars. Right, now we've got to turn all this stuff off. Oh no, I didn't quite finish that one yet. Hang on. Try that again. You wouldn't want to do skydiving in Crusader because I imagine the pressure gets quite intense when you get into certain cloud layers. I always thought it'd be cooler to do that kind of thing in ArcCorp because they showed... Oh, I need to go back and change the files because this is going to be very loud in a second. It's loading to Hurston. Yeah, I always wanted to look at ArcCorp for skydiving because if you remember the demos that they kept showing us of the rest stop that was hovering above ArcCorp, it's like you can look over the edge of the pads and see the city, and yet you're high enough out of the atmosphere to jump off of the gravity plates of the landing pads and still float. It'd be awesome if you could just fling yourself off and start skydiving towards the city. We will be able to open our ship doors and frames with our mobiGlass. I think it's something they're going to add, but it's not something that's a focus at the moment. What RAM and CPU you're using, Destroyer, because what I'm playing on right now might surprise you. How does ship hacking work? I don't know, we don't have that mechanic yet. The multi-tool that we're getting, the 335, apparently will be able to have the ability to break into locked ships, so whether we'll be able to do that in 335 we will see. My spec is in the description and I'm playing on the desktop tower at the minute. I'm not on the Razer Blade Pro. See if it's loading in or not. I know that Lawville takes a while to load, but not normally like this. I'm just going to restart the client, I think, and pick a location as opposed to just best. Yeah, you really want 12GB minimum RAM, 16 advisory. Yeah, Goku's just put my spec in the description. SSDs, yeah, definitely more useful than hard drives. There's a few guys in sync who still play using hard drives, and they do have long load times, especially when you're loading into Lawville like we are now. On my tower, the game client is installed on a Samsung 860 EVO, so it's not a slow drive by any stretch of imagination, but even loading into Lawville it's pretty lengthy, as you can see. Here we go. There we go. So back in the hub again. We may as well have a bit of a play whilst we're here, might we? Now apparently you can pick a bunch of this stuff up. What's this? Carry. Oh. I didn't know you could pick a plate up. Yeah. You can pick the big bennies up. Oh, there's a can. Can we drink it? No. We can fling it, however. Or just drop it, rather. And there's a thing of big bennies as well that we can pick up. Inspect. Can we open the big bennies? No, that's depressing. Oh well. Oh, poor computer, having to render the shaders because I deleted the user folder. Blech. There we go. Oh, it's night time in Lawville. So many shaders loading, so many NPCs. Ugh. Yeah, it's down to the optimization about your RAM. 16 gig is fine, 32 gig is obviously a lot better, but from what I've seen just lately with 3.3 and 3.3.5, it's, I suppose you could say it's your whatever drive you've got installed for the game, so like an SSD or an NvMe, which is obviously better. And for actual graphical performance, your GPU is a massive bottleneck. So, for instance, I know there's a couple of guys in sync who have 970s, and Lawville just chugs like them for nothing on earth. I have a 1060, which isn't in this computer at the minute, but that was the card that was in this computer. I also have a 1060 in the Blade Pro, although the Blade Pro handles Lawville pretty well, but it's got more RAM and a newer CPU, so. play silly buggers trying to buy the armour again, are we? Actually, we only need the core, don't we? We only need the core because we will have the helmet from the Woodland set. Ooh, not sure if lock up. There's a little stutter from the audio. Yeah, I think my game's locked. Bugger! See if it recovers. I think that was an NPC that did that. And then yeah, they should give you an option to buy the complete thing. Oops, I actually need to click Arena Commander there. Just wanted to see if the recovery would work. And it didn't, never mind. Game crashed loading in, that's never happened. Not liking me at the minute, is it? Oh, now my game audio is well and truly bugged. Huh, something has definitely gone wrong with my client there. Give me a minute guys, because there's a very strange noise coming from the audio on my PC. I may actually, for a comparison, switch over to my Blade Pro. So I'll be back in a few minutes, I'm just going to switch things over.